In this video today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this wavy diamond friendship bracelet. It's super easy to segment knot because you can see sort of like each section that you need to work on to work up the whole set. And once you know how to make the pattern, you can work these up super fast. So if you want to learn how to make this bracelet, then go ahead and keep on watching. So you will only need 12 strings for this pattern. And you will have 6 colors, which means you will need 2 strings of each of your colors. And as far as measurements go, I do between 35 to 40 inches. It honestly really depends on what ties you want to make, how long they need to be, all that. But this pattern doesn't eat up too much string, so you can go a little bit on the lesser side if you need to. So from the outside into the center, you want to order your strings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, you can use whatever colors you want, and you can put them in whatever order you want. You can see I have already started a shaped start, but if you don't want to, then don't even worry about it. This is all still going to be the same. I would suggest though with this first step, when we start the opening of the diamond, try to tie your knots in this sort of upside down V shape because it'll make it really easy to form this diamond right away. So what you're going to do first is take your 2 middle strands and just tie a knot with them. You can make whichever knot you want because they are the same color, but I am just making a forward knot here. And then starting on the right strand of this middle section, I am going to do forward knots on the next 3 of my strings to the right of it. And then on this 4th one, I'm going to make a forward backward knot onto it. So we have our first base strand. Make that forward knot. And then do it 2 more times. And then on this 4th one here, you will make a forward backward knot. And then we are going to come back to the center and pick up the other strand of those middle 2 strands. You will do backward knots on the next 3 strings to the left of it. And then on this 4th one here, you will make a backward forward knot. So there is our 3rd backward knot. And now on the 4th string, we are going to do a backward forward knot. And then we're going to come back to our newest middle 2 strands, and we are going to make a knot with those. And again, I'm just going to do a forward knot here. And now you are going to take the right strand of these middle 2. And what you're going to do is make a forward knot onto the string to the right of it. And then on the next one, you will do a forward backward knot. And then pick up the 2nd strand of those middle 2. You will do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then on this next one, you will do a backward forward knot. And then you will come back to your middle 2 strands, but this time you are just only going to make a knot with them, and that's it. And now we want to use these 2 previous colors to close up the diamond. So you will locate the strings that are on the left and right of your middle 2 strands. And on the left, you will do a forward knot onto the string to the right of it. And then with the right one, you will do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then when they're in the middle, you will just make a knot with them. So there's our forward knot on the left side. Our backward knot on the right side. And now I'm going to make a knot with both of these strings. And now we're going to come back to our first outer color, which will be the 3rd strand from the right and left on both sides. So on the left, I'm going to take this string and do 3 forward knots on the next 3 of my strings to bring it to the middle. And now I'm going to pick up my 3rd string from the right and do 3 backward knots on the next 3 of my strings to bring it to the middle. And then when I have my strings both in the middle, I'm going to tie a knot with them. So now I have those backward knots finished, and I'm going to tie a knot with my middle 2 strands. And then next, what we want to do is take our outermost left and right strands and bring them to the middle. So on the left side, I will do forward knots on the next 5 of my strings, and then on the right side, I will do backward knots on the next 5 of these strings. And then when I have both of these strings in the middle, I will connect them with a forward knot. So there is my left side finished, and now I'm going to move over to the right. And then, like I said before, I am going to take my 2 middle strands and tie a forward knot with them. And then you want to repeat that a second time. On the left side, do your 5 forward knots to bring it to the middle. On the right side, do your 5 backward knots to bring it to the middle. And then tie a knot with the 2 middle strands. So there's the left side finished. And here is the right side finished. And now I'm going to take my middle 2 strands and just make a forward knot. So for now, I'm going to take the left half of my strings just put them off to the side because I won't be using them for now. Take your outermost right strand and do 3 backward knots on the next 3 strings. And then on this fourth one here, you will do a backward forward knot. So there's our 3 backward knots, and now we are going to do a backward forward knot on the fourth. And then we're going to come back to our newest outermost right strand, and you're going to do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then on the second one, you will do a backward forward knot. And then you will go back and do a forward knot back onto the first string. And then we're going to come back to our previous string up here. That will be your fourth strand from the right. So you'll take this string and do forward knots on the next 3 strings to bring it back to the outside. And this little section here does have a tendency to kind of curve, so just pay attention to your tension while you're knotting. You can kind of pull this down if you need to and sort of fix it. For the last step in this section, we're going to take our string on the left and do forward knots on all 5 of these strings to bring it over to the right. So now we're going to continue bringing the rest of our colors in this first section over to the right. So with your outermost left strand, you are going to make forward knots on all of these strings up until it meets with the second string of this color, and then you'll stop. And here is the second string of the same color. So this is my last forward knot. And if you want to move these strings off to the side while you bring the rest of them over, it would probably be a good idea because the amount will just get less overwhelming. And then take your newest outermost left strand and repeat that again with all of your strings, and then stop when you do your forward knot on the second string of that color. And here is my second string of my color, and I'm going to do my last forward knot onto it. And then I'll take these strings and move them off to the side with the rest. And then again, you will take your newest outermost left strand and do forward knots on all of your strings. And then when you get to the second string of your color, do a forward knot onto it and then stop. And again, my second string of my same color, doing a forward knot onto it. And then I will put it off to the side with the rest of my strings. So we have 2 more rounds of this. We're almost there. So here's my newest outermost left string. And then once again, here is my final forward knot. And now we just have our last color to do this with. So take your outermost left strand and do forward knots on the next 2 strings because that is all we have left. We are finally about halfway done with the set. You can see it's kind of trying to wave this way, but we are bringing all of these colors back to the left, so we have a chance to keep this straightened out for the rest of the set. So you will see that our strings are now in groups with each other, except for the outermost left and right side. So we are going to take the left string of each group and doing backward knots to bring them over to the left side. So I am going to take the left string of our very first group here, and you are just doing a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then pick up the left string of your second group and do backward knots on all of the strings to the left of it to bring it to the left side. And then we are going to come back to our third group here, pick up the left string, and do backward knots on all of the strings to the left of it to bring it over to the very left side. And then locate the next group, which will be your fourth one. Pick up the left string of that group, and again, do backward knots on all of the strings to the left of it to bring it over to the very left side. And now we are going to come back to our last group of strings, pick up the left string yet again, and do backward knots on all the strings to the left of it to bring it to the outermost left side. We have one more string to do all this with. You're going to take your outermost right strand and do backward knots on all of your strings to bring it to the very left side. Alright guys, we're almost there. So for our last area, we are going to repeat what we did in this section right here. So you want to take your first 6 strands from the left, put them off to the side like we have done before. First, you're going to take your outermost right strand and do backward knots on the next 3 strings to the left of it, and then on this 4th one here, we will do a backward forward knot. And then come back to your outermost right strand and do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then on the second one, you will do a backward forward knot. And then once you have that, you will go back and do a forward knot on the first string. And then you will close up this tiny section here by going to your 4th string from the right, which is the string we used before, and do forward knots on to the next 3 strings to bring it to the right. And now for our very final step. You're going to take the left string of this group of 6 here and do forward knots onto the next 5 of these strings to bring it to the very right side. And you can see why this pattern works up so quickly, because this is a whole set. It's a very tedious process to learn, but once you have this completely down, it will take no time at all to work up. So that is how you make this wavy diamond friendship bracelet. If you need to start this video over from the beginning to work on the next set, then you can. The color order will be different each time, but the segment knotting will always be the same. So thank you guys so much for enduring this lengthy tutorial with me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.